Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into something huge, a complete overhaul of how the Philippine government spends public money. It's called the new Government Procurement Act, and trust me, it's going to change pretty much everything. So let's get right into it. Have you ever really stopped to think about it? Every road you drive on, every public school your kids might attend, it's all funded by your taxes. And this new law is set to completely transform how that money gets spent. So, what even is government procurement? Well, you can just think of it as the government's official shopping process. Seriously, from the paperclips in an office to a brand new international airport, it all has to go through this formal system. So, let's talk about the scale of this shopping, because it is absolutely massive. This is one of the biggest and most important things the government does. And the amount of money flowing through this system affects, well, everything. We are talking about billions and billions of pesos of your taxpayer money every single year. So you can see why making sure this process is efficient, transparent, and actually delivers real value is so important. Okay, so that begs the question, why change the rules now? The old system, which was Republic Act 9184, had been around for a long time. But honestly, it was starting to show its age and had some pretty big problems that needed a modern fix. Let's just put the two side by side. The old way was mostly paper-based. Can you imagine? It made things incredibly slow, and it was obsessed with one thing, the lowest price. That actually ended up discouraging a lot of good companies from even bidding and created all sorts of problems down the line. These are exactly the gaps the new law is designed to plug. So the best way to think about this new law is like a completely new playbook. It's not just tweaking the old rules, it's introducing a whole new philosophy for public spending built on a set of really fresh guiding principles. And here they are, the core ideas driving this thing. We're talking about making information open to everyone, thinking about the long-term impact on our society and environment, and having rules that actually make sense for the job. It's a complete shift in mindset. So how does this new playbook actually translate into action? Well, you can really break down the biggest changes into three key themes: making government spending smarter, greener, and completely digital. First up, getting smarter. This is a big one. The law is moving away from those rigid one-size-fits-all rules and embracing more strategic, more flexible ways of buying things, especially when it comes to really complex projects. And here's a perfect example of that new flexibility. It's a method called competitive dialogue. So instead of the government dictating every single tiny detail up front, it can now just present a problem and then work with the experts, the bidders, to figure out the best possible solution together. This is a total game changer for innovative or highly technical projects. The second huge shift is all about going greener. And this is more than just a buzzword. It's about building sustainability right into the heart of the process and learning to look way beyond just the initial price tag. The key concept here is something called lifecycle cost analysis. It's kind of like when you're buying a car. You don't just look at the sticker price, right? You think about the fuel economy, the maintenance costs, how much it'll be worth in a few years. Well, the government is now going to do that for everything it buys. And this all feeds into the law's main goal: to get real value for money. It's a fundamental shift from asking, what's the cheapest thing we can buy right now, to asking, what's the smartest, most responsible choice for the long haul? And finally, the third pillar, and this one is huge, is a massive leap into the digital age. This law doesn't just encourage going digital, it mandates a complete digital transformation of the whole procurement process. At the center of all this is the modernized PhilGEPS. That's the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System. It's now going to be this single one-stop shop for everything. And this isn't just a website update. It's designed to make the entire system faster, easier to access, and to throw open the curtains so everyone can see what's going on. So what can this new digital hub do? Well, it's got things like electronic bidding, so companies can submit proposals online from anywhere. There's a virtual store for everyday supplies, and even an e-marketplace. All of this makes it way easier for businesses to take part and for the public to track how their money is being spent in near real time. Okay, so we've got all these new powerful tools, but how do we make sure they're being used right? Well, the new law also brings in some much tougher safeguards to boost integrity and hopefully build more public trust in the system. And here are some of those key checks and balances. Now, bidders have to disclose any potential conflicts of interest. They even have to reveal who the ultimate owners of their companies are. No more hiding behind shell corporations. And this, plus a stronger role for outside observers, is all designed to keep the process honest and out in the open. And to make accountability really stick, especially for big infrastructure projects, the law adds a powerful new rule, a 15-year warranty against structural defects. Think about that. If you build a bridge, you're on the hook for its quality for 15 years. That is a serious long-term commitment to quality. So, we've covered the new principles, the big changes, and the new safeguard. But let's bring it all home. What does all of this actually mean for you, whether you're running a business or you're just a citizen who pays taxes? Well, for businesses, especially smaller ones, the digital system makes it way easier to get in the game. And now, quality and innovation will actually be rewarded, not just the lowest price. For the rest of us, it means we get a clearer view of where our money's going, we should get better quality projects and services, and there are much stronger shields against corruption. Look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The whole philosophy is being rewired. We are moving away from just buying the cheapest option to, finally, buying the smartest one. And that really leaves us with one final big question. The new rules are here, we have a new playbook, but changing a culture that's been focused on lowest price for decades, that's always the hardest part. The success of this whole thing won't just be about the law itself, but about the people who have to make it a reality every single day.